voters supported the Cranebrook Trail by a 2-to-1 margin.
Do you have written documentation for the reclassification in 2001 and for the voters supporting it?
Yes, the decision of the Select Board in 2000 there is documentation for that, and the vote was a public vote, an Australian ballot vote in 2002. And so the ballot results are recorded, or at least are available. This area is a significant hiking, biking, cross-country skiing, and other recreational use area. The trail segment in its present condition is inadequate for safe travel and requires significant expenditure to upgrade and maintain even as a Class 4 highway. It traverses a Class 2 wetland. The large habitat block and connectivity study has identified a high priority wildlife corridor running east-west through the wetland area. It's also a special flood hazard area and a deer yard. There's a few other factual identifications. We also identified the fact that an upgrade of what is now the trail segment may not be possible due to state and federal permitting requirements and road maintenance standards. With one exception, all the landowners abutting the current trail segment have access to their properties from town highways other than Town Highway 26. Parcel of land currently owned by Dave Demarest is accessed from Town Highway 26. Adjusting the length of the trail segment, the Demarest parcel will have access to the Class 4 segment of Town Highway 26. And finally, the designation of a portion of Town Highway 26 as a trail is consistent with the Underhill Town Plan, specifically with respect to road maintenance, environmental quality, development, floodplain, and flood hazard mitigation and recreation.
You've explained, you may want to explain to Dave that we've changed the length of the trail.
Yes. What we've done, David, is we've changed the length of the trail designation. We've actually shortened it. That portion of the trail that abuts your land stops before your driveway. So you have access out through on the Class 4 portion of Town Highway 26 out to Outer Settlement Road.
But it does not affect any of your curb cuts.
But it will make me have a substantial detour, I would assume.
Well, if you want to identify it as a detour. The town doesn't guarantee anyone multiple accesses to their property. It's traditional to have a single curb cut to a single access road. I mean, I know there were some competing considerations taken into account, but the overwhelming testimony and evidence that we considered meant that we felt it was the correct decision to make this section of Town Highway 26 a trail.
And did the Select Board consider the substantial legal fees that myself and other affected landowners are going to cost the town to defend our property rights? Because that seems like something that the taxpayers should be aware of, how substantial the legal fees are going to be to date, as well as moving forward for the regulatory taking that this would constitute.
Well, we can only make a decision based on the evidence presented to us as we evaluated it properly. And we made a decision.
The testimonies.
Let me finish. We can't make a decision on what other people might disagree with what the evidence is. We obviously will have to defend the decisions made based on the evidence. But we feel like we've made a pretty good judgment and a clean assessment and evaluation of everything that was presented.
And will the town be giving back the thousands of dollars of Class 3 stating for the portion that they didn't maintain?
We don't have any way of knowing what the determination would be. We believe that portion of Town Highway 26 that has been identified on the map as Class 3 is a clerical error. If we are required to refund, I mean, if the decision comes down through either the road commissioners or the court that we have to refund that portion of the town's portion of the highway funds, we will do so.
And do you know how much that is?
I don't know. It partly depends on what the statute of limitations is, how far back the adjustment has to be made.
Do you know how much you've received for the last 9 years?
I think it's a few $100s a year. I don't know the exact number.
So,
It's not a lot.
It's not a big space,
It's just 0.32 miles.
right,
Right.
relatively speaking.
Okay.
We would like the state to have given us a whole bundle of money for all the Class 3 roads.
Well, I actually did some math, and it was about $4,500 to $5,000 worth of state aid for the last 9 years. So it's not a couple $100s.
Right, no,
Actually,
no,
it's-
it could
You-
be,
Yeah, did you go to the
Yeah,
town
ART.
library folks?
But it's unfortunate that the town's taking that approach.
okay, so the order of business is to sign. I need to buy a pen because I came without one. And the date is the,
Oh, last Thursday?
No,
I mean, the
it's-
2 Thursdays ago, the 27th? Is when you made the decision, right?
So you're posting it.
No,
No,
we're
the
dating
decision was
it.
made, the
we're
document.
dating it the day we sign
We
it,
sign it.
right?
That we have on the document that we made a motion and did the reclassification.
Sign it. Yep. That'll be the official pen. We have to enshrine that one. Okay.
And this now gets recorded with the
That's
survey.
right.
Okay.
Did you put the date in there?
No. Today's the 10th, right?
Dated.
There we go.
Okay. Now, Tim Mack may not show up. I asked him to, when he first sent me the materials, he said he would show up, and then I didn't hear back from him when I checked with him. This is the amended document, with its red lines. This one is the one that would need to be signed. But there's very little that's been changed. It's a change, from bags being 375 to being 5. And then there were references to the towns, having produced, I don't know, there's town money connected with it the first time it was signed. So it's not different other than that, really.
Was there any further discussion about existing tags that people already have?
Yeah, you'll need to decide, or I spoke with him, this is what Sherry says. I spoke with Tim some time ago, and we discussed the old stickers would expire. In the past, we usually gave people 3 months to use the old stickers, as some people brought large amounts. I would like to see the 3 months still be imposed. I myself have a large amount to use. Tim was not opposed to going through the end of the year with those that still had old stickers. Any thoughts?
The end of the fiscal year or the end of the calendar year?
I imagine calendar year.
Okay.
Well,
And then you wrote back something else.
I mean, they have a sticker worth, what is it?
$3.75. Yeah.
I mean, after a certain time, they could, take them to wherever and get credit for,
You could do that, or you could just say, use them within 6 months, and, after that.
Well, you could do both.
done.
It's going to be hard enough to manage, what day do you actually make the cutoff? I think it would be fair to have people give them the option to turn them in, pay the difference, and get new stickers.
Okay.
But,
I don't think people want piles of them either.
of course,
Yeah.
if they have a bundle of them, they're not likely to want to pay more.
I know.
Cash them in if they can use them. So it would be good to have, it would be their headache to monitor the trash bags. And maybe that's what they're trying to do, to avoid that. because communication is an issue anyway, and
Yeah,
people don't always get it.
right.
And maybe that's why he says at the end of the year,
Just let them, right.
let them do it, that way we don't have to monitor it and worry about it.
Right.
Yeah,
You
well,
will
if
need
he's-
to,
If he's willing to go through the end of the year, then I would assume almost anybody would use up what they have.
well, that's what I would imagine. And we could state it on the website.
That's by far the simplest way to do it,
Give
rather
them
than
a heads
having a
up.
cutoff date.
Exactly.
Okay,
Okay. Let me talk with them, I'll see if there are any issues.
okay. So we can't do anything with this right now unless you want to print an on,
I did.
red line.
This
Oh,
one's an
okay. All
unread
right.
line copy.
Good. And the new price takes effect when? That's- I know it's
July
in there.
1.
I looked at that, okay.
Oh, I have the official pen.
You do, I know. I don't know why I don't have one. I usually carry them. You guys don't have to sign it. You can't if you want to. You can sign it right.
I'll get over that one. Official pen.
It's a lovely one, too. I don't know who we're advertising for, but somebody. Yeah, got it here.
Got systems.
I quite like it, though.
Yeah.
It's nice. Oh, so warrants, minutes, and warrants. One set of minutes, one set of warrants.
Is this, where you sign, right here?
Yeah.
Oh,
You gotta sign it,
I was in the same line.
And I got the letter back from Ramona today, so
yeah. Oh, okay.
I'll work on getting an announcement out. I'll let you see it, and you can edit it first.
I remember that we talked about the junk cars on Poker Hill at the meeting 2 weeks ago. Did you guys see the email from Carrie today?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it.
Well, I agreed with your,
Yeah.
the assessment. I like Gary's,
Did she get pictures and stuff?
Yeah, she did. The landowner asked for some extra time, and it was sort of open-ended, and I'll get to it when I get around to it. And I said, well, why don't we make sure that there's a specific time period that we're gonna allow him to work on it, and make sure that we can actually see
Is
progress.
he near the village? Where is he?
No, he's closer in and on the other side of the road.
Oh,
He's about, I don't know, maybe half a mile south.
oh, really?
Um,
It's on the main drive?
Yep. He's well, if you come south from North Underhill Station Road,
Mm-hmm.
there's, Russell's,
Mm-hmm.
and then up again, there's a couple more houses, and then there's a big old farm.
Oh,
Big
yeah,
barn, it's
yeah.
across the road from that.
Oh,
So what I suggested was that they monitor like every week to see that the number of cars is going down,
Yeah.
instead of waiting until the very end, and he says, oh, I can't do it, I ran out of time.
well, at least he's making progress moving.
Yeah, he sounded like he wanted to do it, I just want to make sure we don't miss an opportunity. Minutes look fine to me, so, there's no
You sign
signature
it?
line, I signed the last, there's a blank page at the end, I just signed that. I
I'm
don't know
sorry.
what happened, looks like it got.
I'll go print it.
Okay.
So are you
Okay.
done your meeting?
Um,
Do you have other items?
No, we're finished.
One thing I will ask you about, since we have time, you know, I got two letters from kids in Browns River Middle School talking about their work on the Cranebrook Trail. I mean, I haven't known what to do with them. They just, you know, these are the two. I think I sent them to you.
Is that about the trash bags then?
No, this is kids saying we're doing some studies or something, and just letting us
What
know.
happened with those trash bags?
I don't know. It's Trevor Squirrels. I call Trevor. It's related to that. Are they still out there?
I didn't look recently.
Yeah, I
It,
didn't
basically,
either.
somebody cut a bunch of Japanese knotweed and put it into
the
non-degradable
trash
trash bags and just left it all on the road.
And left it,
Well, I knew they were going to pick them up, is what Trevor said.
Yeah, but with all the illegal dumping that already happened,
Well,
it's just that insult to injury. Supposedly legitimate sources start thinking of everything.
anyway, I referred it to Trevor.
He said he didn't know.
They're basically just letting us know what they're doing.
So, yeah, just, okay.
okay.
You're welcome to see those. So that's all I have.
Okay.
And do those people know where the private property is and where the public property is?
Who's what people?
The people that are going to be in the Cranebrook area?
Trevor's been staying really abreast of the Cranebrook stuff. I assume he does. You could, you're welcome to ask him. So are we adjourning?
Yeah, we can adjourn the meeting. We will reconvene the
Is that the
hearing.
correct time?
Yeah, I do. It's 6:40.
We'll start. Okay, good evening. We're here tonight to hold a hearing on a petition that was